Hey guys, I am back at my favorite writing spot to do another video about writing and storytelling. And so today I wanted to talk about getting stuck in a story. Usually when I get stuck, it's for one of two reasons. The first reason is that something further back in the story doesn't work. Something I've already written is missing or isn't right. And so eventually I get stuck, or I haven't found my way into the scene, whatever. If I'm writing a chapter or a scene in a script, I haven't found my way into it yet, and so then I get stuck. And so the first was something further back in the story isn't right, and sometimes that's not properly established motivation for a character's actions, or it's something is ringing false about that, or there's a missing scene or a missing piece of dialogue, or I revealed something too soon that I should be holding back, or and so I should hold it back for longer, or vice versa, that the audience actually needs that information for what's happening to make sense. And so those are just some of the reasons that something in the past might not be right. And so yeah, it manifests as like a nagging sensation in the back of my mind where I just can feel that something's not right. And then the further I go without addressing it and just keep trudging forward, then eventually I'll grind to a standstill because I have to go back and fix it. And so I'll go back and figure out what's missing, add a scene, add some dialogue, something like that, and then write out the ripples of what happens that spurs from what was missing, because that will affect what came before. And so that might be adding a couple other new scenes, or it might be just adding a couple lines here and there just to make sure that the story still feels cohesive. And the second reason that I usually get stuck is that I just can't find my way into the scene. And that usually manifests as banging my head against the wall frustration because what happens then is I just keep starting the same scene over and over, and it is exhausting. And what usually happens is that this happens when I'm writing like a big emotional scene, or like where stuff is being revealed, or that has big plot or emotional or thematic significance. And so my natural tendency is to just like have people just sitting down and talking, because it's important. So they would sit down and have a conversation. But that doesn't make for a very interesting scene. And also you get a lot more characters revealed a lot more through the actions that people aren't planning. And when two people are just talking, they have too much opportunity to hide in a lot of ways. And so it's actually less interesting and less good from a character perspective. And so I end up starting the scene over and over, trying to find a way to make it work. And so got to turn the pages of my notes. So it can feel stilted, or it can feel like it's taking a really long time to get to the point, because people don't just naturally dive into big conversations. So you feel like you have to build up to it and stuff like that. And so that can, be challenging. And so what I do to combat this is try and take different approaches. Like I will start the scene over, but maybe next time I'll have it that before they dive into whatever important thing they need to talk about, one of the characters catches another one smoking or something like that. And so it kind of like puts one of the characters wrong-footed, and then it kind of provides an entrance into it instead of them just like sitting down and having a portentous discussion. And so that usually helps. And also just having people doing something while they're in the scene also helps. And so, also another thing that sometimes proves a challenge when I'm having trouble finding my way into a scene is because I either started the scene too early or too late. And so sometimes that's the issue. And so that's something else to consider. And anyway, that is what I do. Usually it's one of those two reasons when I'm stuck in a story. And that's what I do when that happens. And so I'd love to hear what you guys do when you get stuck. So if you want to comment or write me or anything like that, I'd love to hear it. Have a good day.